Welcome back, everyone. Last time we took a visit to the Queen Black Dragon to unlock our first full tier 80 weapon, and today we're putting it to use at RuneScape's newest boss, Fleshhatcher Mechanars. While I'm going in blind here, I've had my expectations set that this is an introductory boss, so not to expect a great challenge from it. And the tasks reflect that, focusing more on his unique loot and having some fun. The Stalker's Charm is a way for us to get a ranged accuracy boost from the next slot before getting access to a Reaper's Necklace later on, so I want one of those to experiment with. Then we have a seemingly generous kill timer, but it was set based on a friend's kill time with tier 70 necromancy gear, including Deathmark. So let's see how it survives a classic Battle Axe and Zerk rotation. And finally, we have the Chivalric Special. Do the boss as wrong as possible, otherwise known as an Unorthodox kill in combat achievements. Since there aren't any official combat achievements for this boss, Chev set the specifics of this one, but we'll cover those later in the video. As for the Hydrix, I love a good pet grind, and when a boss is designed to teach rather than challenge, it seems the perfect time to fit one in. With all that covered, let's jump straight into the boss fight itself. Mechanars attack solely with magic, so we'll be praying against that for the entire fight. The boss has its own adrenaline bar, which goes up 25% with each attack. At 100%, it does a special attack, the first of these being an AoE on the player's location, which they have to dodge. 4 attacks later, you get a wave pattern to dodge. A much simpler version of the waves we'll see later at the Sanctum of Rebirth. And to be honest, those were all the mechanics I saw in our first few kills, but there is one more to discuss later on. We spent the first few kills just getting a feel for the boss, so let's see how that went. Okay, well Silenced gave me a time of 50 seconds to go for, which by the looks of it, might actually be a pretty good time. So you pray magic and you dodge. Oh, and it just brings you straight back here. That's nice. I see what they meant. I see what they meant about it being an intro boss, but it is a good one. Like it shows off the kind of things that the later part of the game is going to build on, which is what an intro boss should be. Does he change attack style at any point? Or is it always just magic? Okay, 125k damage in 50 seconds is actually not a tiny amount with what we currently have access to. But he does look meleeable. Dragon Bolt tips. More Stone Spirits, more Bolt tips. I mean, you could kill this guy quite early, so the loot on offer is solid. Also, I do like this, like, no faffing around waiting for a respawn. You just get your loot and teleport straight back out. Yeah, I think we can get down to a 50-second kill. We'll definitely want to be, like, at least opening the fight with melee. Because melee is our, like, best burst style. But range is slowly whittling away at the time. Wait. Is that was... What is the drop rate on this thing? Well, that's his loot challenge done already. The Stalker's Charm is a very interesting amulet in that it gives an accuracy bonus, which normally jewelry doesn't. It just gives damage bonuses. So I'm interested in this because we do lose a bit of damage. We lose 11 damage bonus plus the proc on the blood amulet. Yeah, we're 100% accuracy on this guy, but later bosses, the accuracy will come in handy. I'm thinking like Nex. Nex, you have issues getting 100% accuracy yet. So very good necklace to have for later. Well, with the first task already knocked out, let's waste no time moving on to the next one. We're going to be tackling the Unorthodox kill, which Chev set the requirements for this, and it is we have to get a kill with no moving, no prayer, no changing targets, allowing every single ad to spawn, and for good measure, we don't get to start attacking until the first ads have spawned. In short summary, do everything wrong. You know the interesting thing? Because I haven't shot him, I'm not losing adren from eating. Oh, this is why I'm only allowed to attack the boss. He's straight up immune while they're active. I'm just going to stand still and hit this guy, and I'm going to see if the immunity ever runs out. I'm assuming you have to kill these guys. It is looking like a kill the ads angle. So we can't just ignore the ads completely because they will have the boss immune. I don't want to just rely on range to kill the ads because Ricochet isn't that great, and I don't think Bombardment is going to AoE off the boss because the boss has a... Actually, it will AoE one tile off the target, but they can spawn behind me, which means they wouldn't be able to be hit by it. Actually, let's just try it with that first. Bombardment, Corruption Blast, Ricochet. So one slight pain point is that I have to wait till 1 minute 30 into the fight each time to actually start doing anything or trying out any ideas. But what I'm currently doing is trying to figure out if there's a way to kill the minions using range. And I'm going to do that by going as close to the boss as possible and using AoE abilities like Bombardment, Corruption Shot, and Ricochet, and seeing if they're actually able to hit all the ads and hit them consistently enough to kill them before they just whittle me down. Press Y so I Ricochet. Okay. So now I need to try and kill him before he summons ads again. I will give it to Chef for making an interesting task out of a boss that has, you know, simple mechanics that happen one at a time. Well, at first impression, this challenge seems like it's going to be quite a quick one. We've already dealt with the first wave of ads, and we haven't used prayer, haven't moved, and the boss is almost dead, but here comes more ads. And my corruption shot spreads to them and kills them before they actually spawn. So that one's a fail. Oh. Am I actually going to be able to hit that one at the back? Just about. I was not expecting them all to spread out like that. Yeah, they're basically just out of range of what's it called? That was quite unlucky actually. Yeah, last time we were here, they didn't move away like that. So I wasn't expecting that. Because part of this involves dealing, not dealing with the ads correctly. I have to wait for them to spawn. So we end up doing this. Is that guy out of range again? He is. I do not remember them doing this. Well, that's one of the issues with trying to use ranged on this. Whether we use Chin Chompers or Bombardment, we are limited to AoEing off the boss, and both of those only AoE one tile away from the boss. So we're basically trying to ricochet the ads down, and Ricochet doesn't do that much damage. So at this point, I decide, well, we actually have better AoE range with melee, assuming we're targeting the boss at all times, because we can equip a halberd and use Quake, Hurricane, and we could even use a Dragon two-hander if they all stay near us. So that's what we're trying next. Okay, let's see if they do it this time. Oh, you little absolute. Can I even reach? I don't think I can even reach that guy. I can't. I bring melee and they just go even further. I'm gonna try the corner this time. That's probably just gonna immune it. Oh no, that you can actually resonance the movement thing. See, I don't know if I'm actually in one tile range here. I think I might have gone too far. So I'm not gonna be able to hit it with the hammer, annoyingly. It would be good if they spawned the ads earlier. I know why. Actually, I kind of know why they've done it. If I can wager a guess, they've done it so that people who are farming this for the pet and are killing it in 30 seconds or less don't have to deal with it going immune. The ads are in better places now. No, I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't on the right tile. I put the two-hander on to use its spec to finish him off, but I was on the wrong tile. I might have to Zerk to make sure my AoEs actually kill them. Am I actually going to get to Berserk on this guy, or am I going to take too much from the extra damage intake? Probably just taking too much damage now. Yeah, I can't really get a threshold out without risking flopping over. No, I was trying to resonance that. I was greedy. I was trying to get as many ticks of assault off and then resonances at the end, but I was greedy. But yeah, I should save the enhanced Excalibur's effect for when I'm trying to Zerk, so I don't need to eat during that bit. Probably throwing out Debilitate before Zerking is probably not a terrible idea. It doesn't last that long though. Turns out trying to do bosses as incorrectly as possible is actually somewhat challenging. God, this actually hurts when you don't use food. Okay, I just about got the assault off there. Oh, wait. Oh! I normally have my shield in the D slot to press D then F to resonance, and I just didn't. This would be a lot easier with the hard food change. I guess I could just bring Guffix rests. I kind of want to avoid just spamming Guffix rests at every boss, though, because as effective as it is, it's very freaking expensive. Although moving to the corner did seem to help with the enemies moving weirdly. So maybe I can go back to range. Although, you know what will happen? I'll go back to range and they'll start spreading out again. Man, I like how I started stream today. Like, yeah, we're just going to quickly mop up Mechanars and get onto Grador. And that did not age very well. Here we go. Finally got the spec out. I should have used Debility at higher, what's it called? Higher Adren. Yeah, because now I don't get it during Zerk. I might just be better off not Zerking. Wait, what the? Oh! The action bar doesn't change with your left click setting for Excalibur. So it can't equip it anymore. Also, yeah, I would be so much better off just not bothering with Zerk and just using thresholds. Are you about to spawn ads again? I feel like you are. Well, I'll be honest, that took a bit longer than I was expecting it to, but that is one Onyx challenge down at Fleshhatcher Mechanars for doing it as incorrectly as possible, or doing it in an unorthodox way. For a boss that is ultimately pretty simple, it's designed to make you pray the right thing, dodge some indicators, and just introduce like the absolute basics of what bosses are going to have going forward. That was a nice little set of restrictions that made that quite fun, to be honest. So overall, plus to Chev for the challenge. Now we need to just kill the thing really, really quickly. Wait, you said you lose buffs when you drop down, right? Does that include the Dragon Battle Axe? Yeah, I lost the Dragon Battle Axe buff. I think ooh, wait, actually, I just looked at the time. Is Melee going to be able to do this without? Oh wait, I can't walk him. There's no point using Slaughter. I need to have assaulted earlier in Berserk. It's not going to come back in time. Wait, why am I barging? Wait, Barge is activated by Revo now. Since when is that a thing? But why on earth is Barge activated by Revo now? Well, I guess that's got to be Control 5 from now on. I'll be honest, I assumed this was going to be super easy because I would just do exactly what I did at KBD and just go in with like Dragon Battle Axe and everything and be super, super quick to get the kill. Okay, with the first hit of Destroy crit, that was nice. Then we're going to use Blood Tendrils. Not moving because I just got to keep hitting him as much as possible. But now we want to just get another Destroy and another Assault out, I think. And see if that's enough. That was 51.6. So I'm missing 3 ticks. A Damage Familiar would fix that, but should we do it a more interesting way? Got a fucking 7-way switch in tier 80 gear. Zerk, G-Barge, Bleed, Destroy, G-Fury, Overpower, Punish. Missing a few things for that one, I'm afraid. Is Fury of the Small enough to use 2 damage ults to do something like this? That was slower. That was just straight up slower. Now, is the problem that I'm trying to use Death Swiftness when I shouldn't? Should I just be sending all the thresholds? Yeah, I might just be better off just sending all the thresholds, to be honest. Okay, screw Death Swiftness. We're just going to use range to get access to more thresholds. So all this experimenting came from the fact that Fury of the Small gave us more adrenaline, but without access to decent special attacks, Essence of Finalities, all that kind of stuff, we didn't exactly have a good way to spend it. So what if we just equipped another style and used more thresholds? Surely that's a damage increase. That's why instead of just grabbing like a Titan or something and brute forcing this with melee, I decided to incorporate ranged and see if it's actually a damage increase to bother bringing two styles now. I know not a lot of people enjoy hybrid gameplay, and honestly, calling this hybrid gameplay is probably an insult to the higher end of the game, but it works. There we go. That is 46.2 seconds. And with all 3 mandatory tasks done at Fleshhatcher Mechanars, that just leaves 1 task at QBD, and we need to go check out General Grador. But I imagine we'll be seeing more of Fleshhatcher sooner rather than later, based on the fact that I don't want to start tier 5 until after the combat rework drops, given that's coming this month. So we're probably going to have a bit of time to go back and maybe attempt some of the Hydrix challenges that we've left behind. And his pet is a prime one to just spend a few days grinding away at. But for now, I'm going to thank you all for watching, wish you a wonderful rest of your week, and let you know that you should join us next time for checking out the big man of Bandos himself. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be having a bit of a cage match.